So today we're going to talk about packs, and more specifically, what packs should you buy, should you do, vice versa. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this from the perspective of a whale that's dumped a little over 4K into the game, and I'm within like the first 2 weeks into the game. Okay, the main thing I can tell you is you obviously want to dump all your gems into the bank as much as you can, so that way you get your return on those diamonds, basically. You're going to just do that just simply because you can. But when you're actually buying packs, I mean, the worst value packs in the entire game are actually, how do you say, like if you go up to the shop here, right? You got Mix and Match, Rise of City, Enhanced Gear, Daily Deals. Obviously, everybody and their dog should be picking up daily deals every single day if you can, because this is a lot of XP and books and gems. And, well, frankly, you'll get Zen Man upgraded, and that's pretty damn helpful in its own right. But obviously, you want to pick up your monthly card, so you want to grab that $10 pack every time. And again, we're just getting to the fundamentals of what a maybe mild pay to win will do. But as far as the regular packs are concerned, the biggest number one thing that a lot of people will grab is Molly. And I don't see anything wrong with that pack. That's probably the best pack in here as far as what you get in terms of value. But in terms of everything else, these are all like 840, 760, 1020. Like, you kind of see a prevailing theme here. Like, these are not going to be the best packs offered to you, but they are effectively the pack for whatever it is, that one material you're going to be needing. And if you're pushing and you're trying to be like the rally lead in the game, then you're going to be going through these. And there is a limit. Like, you will eventually, like, if you buy out enough packs for this one thing, you will run out of it in a single day. Like, I've done it. I will tell you that, like, enhancement is a super, super, super helpful thing. Like, the one thing that a lot of people undervalue in this game is actually the gear that is unique to that hero, because this is going to give you a stupid amount of stats. Not to mention, it's going to add a lot of power to your hero, so it's like, it's kind of a given, but a lot of people ignore it. I don't know why, though. I mean, it's really, really simple. But I mean, as far as the actual packs go, I would say, your mix and match packs are pretty nice. And when you're wanting to pick which one in you should pick here, I think it's really going to be dependent on what you're trying to do. I think for most people, long term, it's going to be the gear, though. And I know this because ultimately, leveling your gear is ultimately going to give you the most benefit in terms of stats for the gears that you have available to you. Eventually, you're going to find yourself needing those more and more and more down the road anyway. But if you just want to have a statistical advantage, that is fundamentally, that's the most value for your buck there. Now, I will say the XP is not as important. I don't think anybody should really bother with your XP as much. If anything, I'd dump more into the construction and the research speeds than I would anything else out of that pack. Aside from that, Rise of City is probably really, honestly, this is one of the better packs that there is out there outside of what you'll get offered to you. Of course, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously other events and stuff like that that are coming up. And I'm really only saying this from the perspective of somebody that's only been playing within the first 2 weeks. But what I can observe here is like during Hall of Chiefs, obviously you want to min-max and if you're going to do it anyway, do it during events, because you're going to min-max and basically get the points and the score and everything that you're going to need in order to really stand out. And, you're going to get benefits. And like Hall of Chiefs, for example, you're going to get Geronimo through. Okay, if you're trying to get Natalia, you can get Natalia in different ways. Main way I recommend most people get it through is just through VIP, but you can get it through events. It's just not how I would do it, because it's just, it's kind of like it's a competition over who has the most time spent X, Y, and Z into one thing. And so it's like, unless you're willing to dump a lot into it, you're probably not going to get very far. Of course, Lucky Wheels, highly recommended by a lot of people to just dump a lot of freaking gems into. And I don't think there's anything wrong with. I really think that's probably not a bad idea at all. But I mean, outside of Bear Hunt, which I don't know, I'm like on this half on, half off, type deal with Bear Hunt. But I mean, even that's kind of, I don't know. You can get some pretty decent damage rewards from this if you're continuously going out and doing a Bear Hunt. You're going to find yourself getting decent rewards. I mean, it's just like anything you want to do at your events. Now, like Alliance Championship is going on right now, and so I went ahead and picked the middle lane. But the idea behind this is really not all that complicated. It's just, as you can tell, compared to everybody, I'm a goddamn Goliath, and like I have 1456 power, and I'm surrounded by a group of people that only have maybe 5 or 600, and so it's like for me, I've got tier 10 troops already, so I can mollywop the living bejeebus out of most people in the game, and so it is without saying that, just like any pay to win game, you're going to have these ups and downs. But as far as your picking of your packs go, I really think you just ultimately want to focus down doing furnace. You want to upgrade your shelters and get them all the way maxed out, get your cookhouse maxed out. And what I mean that, I mean, like, really, I think most people pick up the steel pack starting out because you're just not going to get enough through the explorer's cabin starting out. I think really, if anything, if you want to get ahead super quickly, it's just buy the steel pack and then proceed to use speed ups like building speeds and just go ham. Because the moment you get your research speed done in such a certain way that you've got, a certain point, like for example, if you look at my research tree, you'll notice I don't actually have my battle tree all the way done, but I did do an enormous amount of my growth tree, and I did a bunch of my economy tree, because ultimately this is what is going to hold you up as you play the game. It's just, it makes sense to do that first than it is to do anything else. So I mean, ultimately, how you proceed to develop in this game in any amount of speed is really going to be up to conjecture. But I can tell you that one of the greatest advantages I ever got from the packs and everything was really Zen Man. And dumping shards into Zen Man made a lot of sense to me at the time, because by getting a 15% construction speed and a 15% construction cost down, I basically halved the cost of a lot of these things that would have normally cost a shitload more. I mean, by half, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little, but it's still a noticeable bump that, with it versus not having it is enormously different. But outside of that, guys, I would say as far as packs are concerned, though, I typically look at the event packs a lot more than I do anything else, because if anything, the normal base packs are just, they're okay. And of course, we got Frostfire Mine coming up, Lucky Wheel. So one of the things that obviously is Crazy Joe, you want to make sure you're reinforcing your friends, getting the most amount of points you can get. And then during Alliance Championship, obviously putting the best march you can put in. And then Frostfire Mine's kind of a individual user type thing. We'll get into it more tomorrow, and I'll kind of dump more information on that for you guys. But ultimately, that is what's coming up. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two, and I'll see you guys next time.